The Nasty Collective Podcast. Yeah, I said the Nasty Collective Podcast.
What up, everybody? We back with the Nasty Collective Podcast, and we here in Sioux City Library, some shit like that. Don't worry about where we at, but we here with the hometown heroes, bruh. What up, everybody? What's good?
What up?
Hey, I'm gonna go around. Let's go around real quick and introduce everybody one by one, just so they get a little familiar. Because if you're not familiar, get familiar. But we'll start with AM Mixes right here. Introduce yourself, AM.
What up, y'all? It's Anthony. AM Mixes in the mix.
Nice. What are you a little bit about?
A little bit about myself. Grew up in Sioux City. Been recording since I was in 8th grade.
Solid.
And just been with it. Just been grinding ever since.
Oh shit, that's the beat maker. That's the producer right there that you want to holla at. But all right, we can go with GIFO right here.
GIFO.
GIFO.
From Sioux City. Been rapping for a long time. Been knowing Anthony for a long time. Yeah, man.
Oh yeah. Well, you said you're a rapper, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. How you coming out right now?
I'm coming out strong, man. Been doing a lot of stuff.
New album out too. I see that.
New album, Never Late Is Better.
Yeah. SIFU, what's good? What's good with you?
No
SIFU.
shit, man. SIFU the sensei, man. Y'all know what's going on. SIFU the what? SIFU the G, whatever you want to call me, man.
Hey.
What's poppin', Nasty?
What you do? What you up to, man?
I rap a little bit, play with words and shit, you know. Time to time. Got a new video finna come out. I'm gonna drop that bitch in a couple weeks.
Ooh.
You know
okay.
what's going on.
All right, last but not least over here, man. What up, Johnny? How you doing?
What's up? I'm Johnny MARZ. I'm from Sioux City. I rap.
Hell yeah.
I rap very well.
Yeah. And we missing one guy, right? We missing one right now.
Psychedelic.
Who we missing?
Shout out Psychedelic PSK,
Yeah.
man. You know what's going on.
Yeah, he also part of the Hometown Heroes. We just didn't have him in today. But, tell me a little bit about what the project's all about. You guys say Hometown Heroes. Why Hometown Heroes?
Yep. So the project kind of started this year. I kind of set 4 goals for myself to kind of put out like 4 projects that I can kind of executive produce.
Okay.
So I've never really put anything together. Again, from Sioux City, I've never really made a collaborative project with people from Sioux City. So
why start now?
Shit, man, the time's right. Everyone, I've just farther in my career than I've ever been.
Mm-hmm.
The guys back here, GIFO, SIFU, Psychedelic, you know what I'm saying? Johnny MARZ out there with me in Des Moines.
Yeah.
We've all just kind of been advancing ourselves and watching them in Sioux City just kind of grow and kind of, raise the bar, I would say.
Right.
It's just kind of dope to see. So
What does it mean to you guys where it's like you guys are all from Sioux City rapping and shit, and it's like you guys have spread out a little bit because I know you're from Des Moines?
Yeah, we're living in Des Moines. Me and
So
Johnny are living
yeah,
in
you
Des
guys are
Moines.
from Des Moines right now at the current the current time. But what does it mean for you guys to all collab together from a Sioux City standpoint, and why even do it where it's because it's a powerful move. I'll straight up say that, because no one has ever done this shit.
Yeah.
So why make the collab? Why even get all the Sioux City people? Because you could have chose anybody else, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But is it more of a connection side, or is it more of okay, I picked these guys personally?
I was just talking to them last night about this. But yeah, it kind of happened just coincidentally, as far as who was a part of it really.
Okay.
But I had the idea.
Yeah.
I didn't know who yet, but then Johnny was having a show in Des Moines that Psychedelic was on, and then he was just bringing GIFO and SIFU with him. So I was like, well, fuck it, that's perfect. And then coincidentally, I go back with these guys more than a decade. So I've known everybody more than a decade.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool. Not to say that anybody, cause you said, there's a lot of people rapping, making music, but a lot of the people I kind of met more so after the fact. So turn your ringer up. Just coincidentally it worked out. Johnny had him coming out and it just worked.
That show, actually, what was it? The Johnny MARZ show that you're talking about?
Yep. Johnny
How
MARZ
was
show,
that?
yeah.
How'd that go for you?
It went pretty well. A lot of people came out from Sioux City. Actually, I had a couple people come out besides these guys. So that was pretty dope.
That was your first show that you threw together, or that was the first show you headlined?
Well, the first one in Des Moines. I've done different shows out here in Sioux City before, but in Des Moines, and I wanted to bring Psychedelic, and when he told me he was bringing these guys, it was even more dope because I was like, okay, I wanted to bridge the gap between Sioux City and Des Moines. Just kind of give, like, if I can get an opportunity out there, might as well have some homies from out here, you know, give them a platform outside of Sioux City. So just kind of help out, you know what I'm saying?
Branch out.
How was that challenge of like going from Des Moines from Sioux City? Like, was it a whole was it a minute before you actually got the recognition that you deserved, like out there rapping?
Kinda, not really. I don't know. They kind of Des Moines kind of embraced me.
Yeah,
I'm
you
not
guys
gonna
got
lie.
tapped into the scene pretty quick.
Yeah,
Though. Like just looking from the outside in, like when I was on social media and shit after you guys had both moved out there,
Right.
I would just be looking on shit and you guys got tapped into that scene pretty
Right.
fucking
I like
quick,
to
man.
say that like Des
Made
Moines
some good
adopted
connections.
me, and like as far as like
Right,
they
okay.
just kind of took not only me but Anthony, and like, well, Anthony went out there first, so that was kind of like how I got in. But then like, you know, they just adopted us, embraced us, you know, took us in and showed us love. So you know, I've learned a lot from a lot of people out there in Des Moines, and so, and if I can help my homies here, you know, and you know, show them like, okay, this is how they're doing it out in Des Moines. Like, let's do it out here, but our own way, and like grow, you know.
Yeah, that's why I had really liked the Hometown Heroes project, because honestly, and like in my opinion, there's probably like a few guys top of my head that like definitely could have like been on the project and like hung when it came to like skill as rapping, and because it wasn't really, because none of our styles are really the same, so it's not really like a fit in with the style thing that, like, you know what I mean, and shit. I was just happy to even be on that bitch, like being out there.
Was that
rapping
a difficult
and shit.
task, like having to mix everybody together and like having to collab? Because
I thought it was gonna be, because I mean PSK ain't here, but I'd probably say like out of all three of us, his style's probably the more like different when it comes like to his sound. But I mean,
okay,
he
okay.
gelled pretty well, and we smoked a lot of weed.
yeah, I heard that. I seen you guys have like a little count and
Yeah,
shit.
like the vibes were genuine. We were all talking about like writing to the beats before we got there, and it was like, nah, bro, like the vibes were just genuine as fuck. We just got there, smoked.
Yeah.
Vibed
I
out.
drank a little bit, you know.
I
Johnny was
saw you were
passing out.
counting how many blunts you guys were in, and then I saw you stop after 2. I was like, this motherfucker, you didn't keep going.
No, I got to like
Yeah.
26, 27.
No, yeah.
20
Oh, really? You counted them all?
Yeah.
Shit.
But
Well, I would miss a few
Oh, man.
and then be like, hey, yo, I missed that last one, but this one is the 26. And after that, I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, bro.
And
It's
that
hard
was
to
only
keep
one
up.
weekend, really. We had 3 weekends of that shit.
Yeah,
so.
niggas had me.
really?
Niggas had me out there, like, I'll be on the fucking futon down there asleep. I just passed a blunt, like, barely was able to hold my arm up.
Right.
I looked to my left, nigga got a bong in my face. I was
God damn.
Turn around, there's a bottle.
I gotta hit the bottle. But yeah, I would say this though, like it definitely got like easier to make the music as the weekends went on. Like the first weekend was dope. I think we did like a good like
we was just rapping.
5 songs that weekend.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
second weekend,
We did
definitely
about,
like we had
5
more
more.
of a sense of how we wanted to go direction wise, because we're like, hey, we did this many of this type of vibe, so let's get on to like the next thing.
Right.
And then by the third weekend, bro, it was just really easy. We just were clicking and you know,
And the third weekend we had a new beat pack.
yeah, and we had a new beat pack too.
So-
Roy Pack.
How many songs is it? So the Hometown Hero is an album.
Yep.
How many songs are on the album?
That's still TBD.
Okay,
To be
okay.
determined.
Yeah, we
we
made
recorded
about-
like 15 tracks altogether
Yeah.
through the course of the 3 weekends. So just kind of going through and seeing what's going to sound best together.
So it's just picking
Some
and
might-
choosing it right now.
Yeah,
from
right
those
now it's
15.
in the phase. I'm still in the editing phase of everything, so I'm
Okay.
still mixing, still
Executive decisions.
waiting on some of the production to get like revisited on, and then yeah, and then just deciphering which ones are going to be like some singles. I might drop a single,
Yeah.
and if we might, you know, what I'm saying, shoot a video to a couple of them. See
Yeah,
what I
was
can
ju-
do.
I was just about to say, how's the rollout gonna be on that? Because damn, like having all y'all be like promoting this one album, like that's a lot of like eyes on this shit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's a lot
That's
of people
one of the
listening.
things for me, like, so like going back to like kind of the question, like one of the things for me outside of like just wanting to create with these guys, like
Yeah.
I wanted to like really like kind of like put like a fire under them, you know what I'm saying? And like for them to just kind of be inspired. Like it's a new year. They've been like really killing shit for the past couple
Yeah,
years.
that's one thing, and you know, like just for like Sioux City especially, because I've been seeing, you know what I mean, the cities next to us, like Omaha's really doing some nice shit right now. Des Moines doing some dope shit.
Right.
And Sioux City definitely got as much talent as them cities, not even just saying that bias, because, you know, I fuck with my guys in Omaha, I fuck with my guys in Des Moines. But, like, me included, like, this album is, like, just showing me and everybody else, like every other artist in Sioux City, I hope they just notice the shit like this, like low-key how shit's supposed to be done. It raised the bar for me, and I just hope that it raises the bar for, like, Sioux City rap, Sioux City music, period. Like,
just that future generation seeing that, like, what's like, okay, so, like, I seen back then that they were, like, someone told me this, I forgot who it was, but they were like, nowadays, if your music isn't produced right, if it doesn't sound right, it doesn't matter if you're rapping good or not, but if it doesn't sound right, then they don't even want to hear it. You know what I mean? Nobody wants to hear that. But, like, you can have the firest bars, but if it doesn't sound right, it's like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? It's
Exactly.
like,
you gotta show that shit to your homies and shit, but it's not. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Sidebar,
It's not
drop
gonna
it.
have too much
Sidebar, drop it
replay
in
value.
real quick. You want to get your shit sounding right? Hit up my man's AM mixes real quick. You know what's going on.
Yeah. AMX is the truth.
yeah, because, you know, you definitely have to get, like, someone that you're really solid with when you're, like, producing your music, right? Like, have you guys...
It's really just building that relationship, you know? I
Yeah,
don't really
right.
like to, you know, I'm a humble guy, so, like, you know, obviously I feel like I'm the best, you know what I'm saying? But, like, really, the bottom line is, like, find someone that you can build that relationship with and that repertoire with and, like, just build, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people, like, jump around or, like, try this and try that, and that's cool, but, like, at some point you got to, like, find something that works and just stick with it. You know what I'm saying? It's like they don't change the formula to the cheeseburger at McDonald's. Like, that shit works. They keep making it.
When
Find a
did you know
formula and just
then?
keep doing it.
When was it that you said, okay, I'm the best at this?
Shit, I felt like the best, like, before I left high school. But, like, you know, I think that just comes with, like, just, like, a confidence. Like, I just knew that I probably wasn't the best, but, like,
You knew what you
I
were
just
gonna
knew
be.
that this was what I was going to do. Like,
It's almost like fake it till you make it,
Yeah,
right? Like,
like-
to yourself, at least.
in 20 years from now, 30 years, you know, when I was in high school, I'm just like, you know, when I'm 50 years old, I'm going to still be doing this. So, like, my mind was just made up when I was young, you know what I'm saying? Like, I knew that I wasn't going to do nothing else. Like,
Yeah,
this
because
was
even
it.
when I'm, like, filming and doing, like, projects, it's like, sometimes I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Sometimes I fuck up, and I'm just like, if I play it cool, everybody seems cool, you know? Everybody's like, all right, like, that shit was solid, you know?
Like-
So it's like just the attitude that you go in there with, and it's like really faking that until you make it, because it's like, if I think I'm the best, I'm gonna always act like I'm the best, and then, like, eventually that's gonna be a fucking true fact, where it's like,
Yeah.
oh shit, you really out here, you know?
Nah, because I ain't gonna lie, shit. Like, I probably done thought all my raps was fire. And then, you know, a few years pass by, and I done look back at them bitches and I'm like, boy, you was trash back then.
And then you look at your homies like, y'all was lying to me.
Y'all was lying to me.
Nah, but you gotta
Somebody
have
was
some,
lying,
like...
But, yeah, but if you don't go in, if you don't step on that bitch thinking or knowing you're gonna be the best, like, you ain't never even gonna achieve that. Like, even if it is or isn't possible, you ain't gonna never know unless you think I'm the best. Like, I don't give a fuck, like, who it is. You know what I mean? Like, mainstream, underground, like, I personally think if I get on the track with anybody that's in the game right now, like, I ain't saying I'm gonna out-rap everybody, but my verse definitely gonna stick out. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel that with anybody. Like, I don't give a fuck who you name.
But
Like,
would you
Yeah.
give anybody a verse? That's the real question.
no.
Yeah, because
No,
you gotta,
and-
you're like
and, you
picking
know,
and
like-
choosing, right? You gotta pick
You
and
know
choose
what I
your
mean?
ones.
Like, motherfuckers don't like, and people always like to say be bougie and shit like that. It's not even like a bougie thing to me, but like sometimes like, and I done had to learn that shit. Low key, shout out my man's PSK. You know what's going on. But yeah, low key, he was the one that taught me that shit. That like sometimes you just can't be in reach of everybody. You know what I mean? Like if you just look like you're too accessible, it don't fit the image. You know what I mean? Of what you're trying to create. You know what I mean? And you can't bless everybody with that shit if they ain't put the work in or if the track ain't heat.
Not everybody can wear Gucci.
No, and dude, honestly, like, that supreme confidence is definitely key, bro. Like, if you don't buy into yourself, no one's gonna buy into what you do. And to touch on what he was saying too, like, build that relationship with that person, right? Like, why are you gonna ship out your stems to some dude you never met when you got somebody locally or right? Like,
Right, like
that's the
Anthony
thing.
is my best friend. I've known this man all my life. He's the only person I've ever made music with.
Oh, damn.
Only person.
Yeah,
If I didn't make music with Anthony,
special
I don't
bond.
want to make music with nobody else.
Really? It's that hardcore?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a special
Yeah,
bond. They was
people try to be like, yo, you should work with this dude, work with that dude, and it's like, I don't care how good they are.
No, yeah, dead ass. These two motherfuckers was
Right.
making music back in high school. I remember being in like algebra 2 and being like, man, like, I was like, man, y'all really be rapping and shit? And they was in talent shows and shit at the high school and shit.
Damn,
you know what I mean? Like they've been doing this shit for longer
we sold
than
shirts,
motherfuckers,
we printed CDs, we was selling CDs.
We
were always doing that shit.
And one of the songs, he actually talked about some shit like that. I forgot what song it was, but he talked about
I think it's on the
something.
Hometown one.
Yeah.
Doing all that and still like, what has it been like 10 years? Has it been 5 years since high school? How long has it been since high school?
Oh shit.
Right?
Wish it was
So,
longer.
It's 10 years
2000.
on me, bro. I ain't
so
that old.
yeah.
Not for you, but for a lot of us, it's like
so
been
it
about a
being like
decade.
that,
This
where
year
you're
is year 10, actually.
Yeah, it's been a decade since we've
where
been out
you're
of
where
school.
you're so far from high school, almost not even so far, but just like it's been a little minute since high school, and like you guys been doing this for a while. Does that almost like unmotivate you, or does that push you even harder? Where you're like, I have been doing this for a while, or is it like you've been doing this for a while, but it's like you're trying to see more success out of yourself, or how does that play into it?
Honestly, both. There have been times where like I done sit there because time is everything.
Yeah, definitely.
And you know what I mean? And like, and I'll sit there and be like, damn, another birthday coming around. Like shit, I'm turning 28 this year, and it's like, damn, like you know what I mean? You look back at what you really have done, and then that could get discouraging. But then you think about like what you really could do. And then you start thinking about other stories and other success stories. And a lot of motherfuckers that done popped, like, there's hella rappers you could name that didn't even pop until their way late 20s or their early 30s and shit like that.
Like Benny the Butcher's like late 30s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Like,
Conway's like 40-something.
Right. Freddie Gibbs is older than Wayne. Like,
I have seen though that like, okay, so like the other day I was talking to somebody and they were like, oh yeah, I'm gonna give myself 2 years. You know what I mean? I'm gonna give myself 2 years, and if I can't do it in those 2 years because they're turning like 30,
I think they're in it for the wrong reason.
Yeah. It's just that when people hit that 30 mark, it's like they're like, okay, I can't keep rapping after 30, you know, or I can't keep like putting myself in a public eye like that. Because it's almost like, oh, I'm too grown for it. But that's how like people's mindset are like at this point, where they're like, I'm gonna give myself 2 years.
Perception
You know?
is everything. Whatever you want people to think of you, however you want to show yourself to them.
Yep.
If you think you too grown for that shit and start acting like it, then motherfuckers gonna start doing that shit. But like we said, there's so many motherfuckers popping 30 right now. Niggas is rapping in skinny jeans at 35. You know what I mean? But like they got that image. You know what I mean? If you was just a regular ass dad with a factory job wearing skinny jeans every day, and then be like, all right, it's a little different. You know what I mean? But it's about, I think it's about perception and it's everything with
Just
that
the way
shit.
you hold yourself, almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I got like one last thing I could say on that too. Like sometimes as you get older too, like you put pressure on yourself because like, yeah, you do want to be like, man, I wish this would work, or it would be cool if this would be like something that I could take to a different level. But like, honestly, like what Johnny said, like people that are in that kind of frame of like thinking, like you're just kind of in it for the wrong reasons, right? Like I know like with my homies, like seeing them sustain success and start to grow their brand, like with PSK, with Anthony, with Tanner, with everybody, like it's inspirational to see that happen, like from your homies, and it does drive you, bro. So yeah, I mean, when you're in it for the right reasons and you're sustaining success, bro, like that's a really beautiful thing.
One thing I had a question about, I'm not sure if it's pushing too hard, but I know you and SIFU are the two dads of the group, right?
Yeah.
How does that affect you guys' music? How has that played a part into your guys' like new ability, or has that like put you on a new level where you're more motivated now, or how has that affected you guys?
I mean, for me, dude, like it definitely does push me to like, you know, obviously like being able to have like commercial success or like make you know real money off of it, like that would be life changing for me and my family and my kids, right? But like honestly too, like I just want them to see me have like a passion for something, right? And like chase that dream, like, and just also like that's the kind of thing you want your kids to see, bro. Like
anything they want, they can go for it.
Yeah, like go for it. Push
that
them,
generational wealth, definitely.
Like, rather
even
than
if
just
it's
telling
like
your kids
mindset.
that, and you could tell your kids one thing, right? But that doesn't mean they're gonna do it. But if you show somebody something,
like I
that's
really
different,
want
bro.
for this.
Yeah.
And see, and like with me, I done had like back when I used to work in like factory jobs and shit, and like some old heads would, you know, find out I'm doing music and shit. And I'd always had a story from like some old head, and they are telling about how like they was actually doing something, and then they had kids, and then they just like quit because they just felt like they couldn't manage time, or kids were too expensive. And kids ain't even that like really expensive. Like for me, what it did most is like motherfucking. What it did most is how I managed my time.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like before I had my daughter, it was like, you know what I mean, we could wake up and do a bunch of songs in one day, and we had too much time, and I wasn't getting anything done. But then like after I had my daughter, it'd be like, all right, you know what I mean, I know that she might wake up from a nap at this time. You got 2 hours to write and record this song and to get that bitch done. You know what I mean? And it just made me way more productive and just way more hungrier with it, to be honest.
Hell yeah.
So then, what do you guys see for the future of this album? What new ground are you trying to break here? And like, I seen you guys said you're trying to make that like new level, how like SIFU said, you know. But what is that? Is that what the like almost concept of it is, where it's like you want to show that like we Sioux City are about this shit?
Yeah, so things that I get, again, like some of this is kind of like new, but yeah, like just goals that I have for it, like outside of like just bringing them together and like creating that. I want to like, you know, put on a show for it in the sense of like if we can do a hometown show here at the Marquee or Whiskey Dicks or like something and do something here, but then bridge like what he was hitting on, like bridging that gap, bringing the guys out to Des Moines and like showing them like a venue in Des Moines that we can perform at, and then collaborating at a whole venue where it's Des Moines artists and Sioux City artists on the bill. And if I can bring some Des Moines artists out here to Sioux City on the bill, and then possibly something in Omaha and Sioux Falls, it's just, you know, still working on building that stuff. But if I can essentially build like a little mini tour off of the Hometown Project and we can hit a couple cities, you know what I'm saying? I think that'll be dope.
You guys coming from Des Moines today, what is the difference between a Sioux City rapper and a Des Moines rapper? Is there even a difference between them two? Is it like different styles, or is it pretty much the same thing?
I think styles is for sure different. I don't think, not that like one is better than the other, but just people is making different music. People make different, like there's a couple people in Des Moines, I wouldn't even be able to compare them. It's like no one in Des Moines makes the same music.
Okay.
They might make like similar sounding music, but like everyone has their own thing. But difference-wise, I wouldn't say like artist-wise there's too much difference. I would just say city-wise there's a lot more resources, it feels like, in Des Moines, and people that like embrace like the hip-hop community.
It really
more.
does feel like like just from the outside looking in, whenever I see like photographers and stuff like that go to Des Moines, like, you know what I mean? Like you go to Des Moines and Omaha and they'll just have a random event for creatives. You know what I mean? Whether the music, people that paint, or, you know what I mean, the photographers, they'll just have random events for creatives to meet up and shit like that. And that's really what, like, I'm hoping, like, comes from this project. Because I ain't gonna stunt. There's low-key a bunch of Sioux City artists that are good. Yeah. And I just feel like motherfuckers in Sioux City don't work together enough. Like you know what I mean? In the artist scene, like, and that definitely goes for me. Like, most of my music, like, up until, like, this year was just all solo shit. Like, even when, like, some of my best friends are, you know what I mean, these two right here, motherfucking Psych, rapping with me, but I still never did features, like, from them or with them, and it was vice versa. Like, we all just did our own solo shit. And I feel like in Omaha and Des Moines, like, motherfuckers they got a scene. Right. You know what I mean? And I would really like to be a part of taking the initiative in Sioux City to, like, make the scene into, like, friendly as fuck. And it's like, oh, what are you doing? How can I help that out? Oh, you can come pop up over here. I pop up over there. You know what I mean? Shit like that.
That there is almost like a doomed idealistic for Sioux City. You know what I mean? Because, like, Sioux City is very almost, like, egotistical in a way. Yeah, and this isn't even me talking shit. It's just straight up, like, how it is. Because, to be honest, the people at this table is probably like one of the best people I have ever worked with as far as like rappers and shit go here in Sioux City, because whoever, like, there's some other people that I be working with and shit, and it's like they're not as motivated, or else they're not like with the shit like that, you know? Yeah, exactly.
Some people just have that hustle, you know what I'm saying? It's really like...
It's just like the one thing in Sioux City I've always known growing up, whether it be music or anything else, like, it's hard to support something until people deem that shit as cool. You know what I mean? Sure. I done seen packed shows, local shows in Sioux City, and it'd be 150 motherfuckers out there just bobbing their head. You know what I mean? And then I'll go to Omaha and do a show, and motherfuckers is in the front row jumping up and down with me and shit like that. You know what I mean? I just feel like Sioux City, not even just the rap, the people, it's everything is like, you know what I mean? It's kind of standoffish. But it's going to take that one motherfucker to...
Yeah. Well, can I touch on that too? Like, so also too, like... You know, a lot of these guys that are starting to kind of come around and start to make more music and, like, you know, starting to want to rap, right? Because I don't want to, like, be like, everybody's a rapper, right? Because there is some weight to, like, that title too, right? Like, you know, the game's not free. And like Johnny said, if you don't want to put the work in, if you don't want to invest in yourself, right? Like, bro, it takes a lot more, bro. It takes some effort. Like,
they don't really see behind the scenes.
You know what I mean? Like, there's moves you got to make. You got to come up with concepts. You got to come up with ideas. Like, you got to be thinking outside of the box constantly. Right. And that's something I appreciate about everybody here, right? Like, I appreciate that about you. Johnny, SIFU, AM, like, and just constantly working at this, right? And like, you know, if you don't, like, it's like sparring almost, right? Like, you just have to stay sharp. You have to continuously be like working on your brand, your image, your thing. So, and the game's not free. Like, you know, you're not gonna, like, it's more than just collaborating that you could give back to other people too, right? Being that homie that's like, hey, that was garbage, bro. Like, you need to do that again, right? Being that homie that's like, hey, man, like, I really liked what you did, but let's build on this, this, and this outside of the music. Like, and just be able to look at yourself objectively and, like, what am I doing? Like, what could I do better next time? Like, I just rolled out a project in a video. I feel like it was one of my best, but there's still things I can improve off of that, bro. Like, easily. So it's just put that effort, right?
Was your rent, ho.
Yeah. Touching on that,
it's expensive.
You were talking about that video, music video out. Smoke, go check it out. Link down below.
Fire.
And speaking with that, how you were just saying, like, you're in the game where it's like you are really trying to push yourself out there, you know? Because when I usually make music videos, it's usually like the rapper pops up or the artist pops up, and then we're just filming. But like when we made the music video, it was like, okay, we gotta detail everything out, and it's like, let's set up this, let's set up that. Oh, that doesn't look too cool. Let's put this instead. Like, it was really like detailed oriented and like a collaboration almost, you know? So that's really like what you need out of like this game is like, you really need to be about your craft, because if you're not, then it's gonna be crap, straight up.
Like real artistry, like actual like quality artistry, showmanship.
Man,
like,
you know what, man?
Like
Fuck
some
the
people,
bullshit, man. Some niggas can't rap, bro.
Talk your shit.
Yeah, man. Some niggas can't rap, man. Like that ass, man. Like when I first started rapping in Sioux City, we go to a show and motherfuckers would promoters be putting these shows together. You show up to a show and then I bring some motherfucking friends and people or whatever to support, but I'm going second to last. And then there be 3 motherfucking niggas up there that they just can't rap. And I don't want to shit on nobody's dreams, but a skill is a skill. Right. And then then by the time it gets to me, I done seen 15 motherfuckers leave the venue just before, you know what I mean? Like, some motherfuckers just literally can't do the shit. It's not for everybody, you know what I mean? And that just is what it is.
You should ask Self about last night, bro. Like, Self was about to go on, and he had, it was between... So there was someone performing, and they had the whole crowd going crazy, you know? Like, at least, like, really, like, intuitive with them. And then... another rapper comes up, fucking goes. Everybody's just gone,
I'm telling you, bro, and that shit's bogus
sucks.
for everyone following that. And that's not on the rappers. That's on the motherfucking promoters or who put these motherfuckers on the bill. Because that shit,
I
you gotta
think
be more involved
unfair
with
as
your
fuck.
artists.
You know what I mean?
I think that's another thing too that Sioux City needs to be aware of is like there needs to be a standard.
Yeah.
Like,
That's what I'm saying. Because I see
true.
Omaha, Des Moines.
Again,
Niggas is raw out there. Like, we got
if you
raw
if you love that shit, do that shit, because I really love this shit. I first started off rapping on an MP3 player. I had no quality at all. I just loved to do this shit. I knew it didn't sound good. I just loved to do this shit. Nobody gave me a chance. Still, Anthony gave me the first chance to actually record some shit, but I just had to fucking do it and keep at it and just know that this is where I was starting and that I had to improve off of this. And I couldn't be mad. You
can't be mad about it, man.
Can't be mad. My own homies, my best friends, the people I seen every day, straight up were like, bro, this is garbage. Do not do this anymore.
Different career path.
Like, they were like, bro, please
Johnny
stop.
tried to sell me a CD. Like,
Back
in the day, I told him no. I told him no.
told me no.
Oh, man.
Literally,
Give it to me.
Literally, I made a terrible CD. I tried to sell that shit. I got told so many times. Yeah. But it was a motivating thing for me because I was like, I'm gonna show you. Like, I know who I'm gonna be. I know what I'm gonna be. I know what I'm capable of. I know that I love this so much that like you're gonna have no choice but to fuck with me at some point in time. And that was like a motivational thing for me. I knew that I had to reach a certain standard to be accepted, to be on these shows, to be able to say that I'm good, that I'm good as fuck at this shit.
And then going back to the last thing I said, like, that shit sounded cocky as fuck, but that ass, like, on some, like, just, like, to connect with it, man, you go to YouTube and you type in Team Varsity Cypher. You look at that bitch, we was trash. I was trash at rapping at one point. Like I'm not saying motherfuckers is trash and can't get better. I'm just saying, like, I done put in the work to get better, and if I'm performing second to last and the promoter put on 3 motherfuckers that's trash and I lose half my crowd and I done put in that work in my stage performance and stage presence, that shit's unfair as fuck to me and anybody else that done actually put in the work to entertain the crowd.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's cute that it's your first show, bro. But
but you know what I mean? And then, I'm not telling you to stop. Just be aware. Just be aware.
Yeah, I was saying I was fucking trash, boy.
The first step at being good at something is being bad at something. So you're on the right path. Just if you really love it, keep at it, and if you love it, you're gonna get better, regardless.
Stop putting 8 motherfuckers on one show, man.
Yeah, that's just played out.
But you also got to understand too, you're not just competing with other Sioux City artists.
Let it out. It's been built up.
I feel you though. You got to understand though, you're not just competing with Sioux City artists. You're competing with Des Moines artists, Omaha artists, Sioux Falls artists, Minneapolis artists, Denver artists, like. Lincoln artists, like Chicago artists, you know what I'm saying? Kansas City, you like
ain't shit too far fetched, man. I'm trying to be in the club and hear Drake play and then hear a SIFU song right after. You know what I mean? Like you gotta think of yourself on that level, or else you ain't gonna ever be able to get that shit.
Right. And the only way to do that is to have standards. Like
When I was throwing my show, the Let Us Know by Nasty Co, I even came to you and I told you straight up that I wanted you as a headliner, and it wasn't because of your music. It was because I knew that you were about your shit, you know.
Right.
And he was even coming from Des Moines, so I knew that you weren't about to like bring a whole crowd. As far as like, at least I didn't think, you know, where I was like, because this guy's been in Des Moines for a little bit. It's like Sioux City's not too tapped in, you know.
Yeah, it's kind of split now, a little bit.
Yeah, you know. Yeah. But I knew that for a fact. If I had Johnny on the end, it was like it's gonna be popping because I know how much heart you have into your music, you know, and people will fuck with that. People see motivation and they follow. It's like if you're not motivated about your stuff, they're not gonna follow you. It's like you're irrelevant at that point. Where like whether you're dropping music or not, like it's motivate and hustle. It's hustle and motivate. You gotta do that both. You know.
One thing I learned too is that there's more people that fuck with you than you always think. You know what I mean? Because when I did my first headline at the Marquee, like I blasted that bitch, and I wasn't even supposed to be the headliner. Psych was gonna be the headliner, but then he tour popped up on him, and then he took I think that was his second leg that he did. It popped up on him earlier than he thought. So then I took over as headliner, and I had to blast that bitch, and I had still probably like damn near 100 people in there.
That was a good ass
and
night.
And I didn't even that's the one you had did a documentary to. Yeah, and I didn't even think that, to be honest, like not that I was doubting myself. I ain't think that I was gonna bring in that many motherfuckers in there, because there was only me and you performing in that one too. I think we were the only 2 people from Sioux City on that bill, and everybody else was like either hasn't done shit in a while or weren't even from the city. So like really the pool was damn near all us. Like
I don't even remember anybody else.
That's what I'm saying. Like
sorry, I don't remember.
I mean, it was a while, you know.
It was a while.
It's definitely important, like he was saying, with the standards, and just like I mean, definitely in no way is any of this meant to like discourage anybody that's up and coming, right? Like, I mean, I've been working with
an example,
because
I remember shout out Elroy. Shout out Elroy Beats. He helped. He helped produce the project. But back in the day, Slow and Steady, they were the ones really doing it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They were the ones me and Anthony looked up to. They were the ones really setting the standards.
Shout out Rev,
so, you know. We just knew like that's what we had to reach for, and to know that there was somebody local who could make that at that high quality, like we knew it was possible. We knew we could do that. So this project, I would hope that it inspires people and lets them know like it is within reach. Yeah. But this is the level that you have to get to. Like don't try to come out and say you're this and you're that, and you haven't done shit. Like I'm not gonna lie, because that shit would make me. That shit made me feel a type of way when everybody started rapping and it was like, I'm the best, and it's like, bro, you haven't done anything to be the best. Like, prove. Like, I don't. We can.
What's motherfuckers? What's motherfuckers even competing? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what's the best of what, nigga? Like, we in Sioux City, Iowa. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to be the best local rapper, nigga. I'm not a local rapper skill wise. You know what I mean? Like, Yeah, my shit,
I'm an artist.
my shit, like, you know what I mean? And not even just my shit. Like, there's rappers not even in this room, not even Psych, not even on an album that I believe in Sioux City have mainstream sound, mainstream talent.
For sure.
People just ain't been heard by the right ear because we in Sioux City, Iowa. You know what I mean? Like
that, and they haven't been pushing it out as hard as
That's
you would
true,
think.
too.
You know what I mean? Because like you can have someone that's a really fucking good rapper, but then they sleep on themselves. You know, and it's like, damn, like you have all this potential, but you ain't using shit. So it's like that's where like you really see your downfall, because if you are a really good rapper and you just let yourself go, you're not gonna you're irrelevant. Again, like if you're not seen in the light, you're irrelevant, and that's just like the sad truth of like what social media and like and just being an entrepreneur yourself. And I guess in this new age, it's just like you have to show up to these shows and you have to like push your content out. I saw Johnny doing MARZ Monday, and like that, like I just that shit was consistent, you know, where it's like every Monday I was seeing some new shit, and I was like, damn,
know how hard it is to put out a song a week.
hell yeah.
That shit's hard. That shit. Motherfuckers think it's easy. No, to put out a song a week, that shit really ain't. It's not sweet.
And see, like just
just like-
that little push.
Yeah, and promoting it all, staying on it. Me and Anthony.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That shit's not sweet, bro.
Me and Anthony had to have reminders set like, oh shit, it's Monday. Oh shit, oh yeah. So like you really, it's more than just the music, and but again, like we're still like in reach. You know what I'm saying? Like you can, somebody growing up in Sioux City wanting to rap can hear this project and be like, damn, I can do it too.
Yeah.
Like that's what should be taken away from this.
There's so many motherfuckers younger than us rapping too.
Because there's
you
a
know
lot
what
of
I mean?
people
Back
that's
back when we was in high school, it was just y'all. You know what I mean? Like you look at high school now, there's motherfuckers young now that I think that shit's dope. There's a lot of motherfuckers.
My little nephew's rapping.
They got talent. And that shit, you know, shout out 7 Squad. You know what I mean? Them motherfuckers is cold. They young as shit. Like I wish I was rapping when I was that young.
And just like even watching them, it's like we're about to see who comes out of that group, because you know the group's not gonna stay together. I'm gonna just be real, it's not gonna stay together. And
Team Varsity
what group does? You know what I mean?
That shit damn shit.
But we about to see
It's like
out of that group
Like who
who
holds
takes
on to
that,
it.
who takes that drive, and it's like I'm gonna keep this shit going. Just because the homies stop doesn't mean I'm gonna stop. You know?
Life hits.
Yeah, real life does hit, and you have to be strong, like strong-minded person in order to survive in this world and still thrive. You know,
and still
you know what I mean?
keep
Like,
at your craft. You know,
Yeah.
like this world will swallow you up.
I be thinking every day, like, man, you got to be crazy as fuck to just wake up and be like, man, I'm finna pursue a rap career. Like, you know what I mean? Like of all the things you learn growing up, stable careers and shit. That's why artists your mind is different. You know what I mean? It was like, fuck it, because like I said, Team Varsity was like 9 motherfuckers. There's me, Tay Groove, and Psychedelic.
I was about to
the
say,
only 3 that still rap out of that whole little group that we had back then.
Like, I guess like you said, like when everybody started popping up rapping, there was a lot of motherfuckers, and everybody was like swore they were the best, and it was like, you know, I did feel a type of way, but now it's like so much time has passed. You see who fell through the cracks. You see who's still here, and even though I may not see eye to eye with some people, I still have to respect that they're still here.
Still hustling.
And they're still putting in work on that shit.
Yeah, you don't gotta like everybody. You just gotta.
Everyone's music's not for
stay in your
everybody.
lane.
It's impossible to like everybody.
Yeah.
But I still respect that you're still out there getting it. You know
And
what
just
I'm saying?
passionate about the art.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Because
As long
that
as
was
you
my
stand
whole
true
thing.
to
It's
it.
like, I really love this shit. I don't want you coming in here fucking up my shit.
Yeah.
And you don't really love it.
The way I say it is nobody.
How dare you?
Nobody's bigger than the program. That's my like biggest motto, is that nobody's bigger than the program. Whether I'm here or not, like the show must go on, you know?
Exactly.
So it's like, that's why you can't get too much of an ego, but it's like you do have to have that ego, because when you are an entrepreneur, when you are your own boss, you got to stay the boss, you know? You can't be the worker of yourself. So with that being said, what's the final statements that you guys have to tell me, and like what's for the future? What can we, you know, expect from the hometown heroes?
Let's start down that way.
Shit. What's to expect?
What's your future looking like right now, man? What can the people
future-
out there expect from you?
My future is looking beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I got a lot of work I just put out.
Nice.
I got a lot of work in the works. I got a lot of work with these dudes. And all of it's just like, this is the best work I've ever made. I've been doing this shit since I was 12 years old, and this is the best shit I have ever made in my life. And like, I cannot wait to show the world, because this is what I was saying. This is gonna be some shit that can compete nationally. And that's the goal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's the goal. That's even if I don't have to win a Grammy, it'd be nice. But if I can just consistently tour and have fans around the world that I can connect with, like, because making music gets me through a lot of my shit.
Make a living off doing what you love.
Right, right.
You don't gotta be no millions or nothing like that.
If I could just sustain my life through music, that's a win right there. That's success.
Only music, nigga.
That's
the dream
success.
Right there. Like, I don't gotta be no
And
celebrity.
that's realistic. That's a realistic goal to have. Even being from Sioux City, that's realistic.
Oh yeah.
And that's the future for you, for Johnny Mars right
That's the
there.
future for me.
Hell yeah.
Shit. Recent future.
Yeah, where you heading to now, man? Like, I've been seeing you on shows. I've been seeing you drop music.
I tell you what,
Tell
I'm
me.
heading to the bed after this shit.
Ah, shit. Yeah,
Tell you
slumped
what.
out.
Okay, but other than that, no, I got a special appearance tonight. I'm gonna pop up at the Don's.
Right.
And then I've been recording with my boy Dylan Foot in Sioux City. I got a bunch of tracks that just stacked up in the vault that, like, I had to force myself, like, stop holding on to shit. You know what I mean?
No,
Like that.
gotta
And
let
there
that
ain't
shit
never
out.
gonna be a perfect time if you just keep waiting for that shit. And I was, like, really in my head about that shit. Like, everything gotta be perfect. And I'm like, nah, I just gotta put these shits out, man. And
Of course.
Create
Let
let
that
motherfuckers
perfect
know
time.
that SIFU can rap with the best of them. But I also want to show people I can create vibes and shit like that too, and not just, you know what I mean, go bar for bar with motherfuckers like
Yeah.
that. But and then me and GIFO and PSK trying to put out a show in April. You know what I mean? All those the info on that is all TBD. But that shit's finna be
Exclusive.
real,
First
yeah.
time you hear
That
that.
shit sounds
real
fucking
ex-
fire,
real
though, for
exclusive,
real.
real exclusive shit, man. That one's finna be dummy. Like, we're finna do it different
Right.
than a regular show is done, and that's all I'm gonna say about that. But y'all motherfuckers gonna definitely pop up at that shit.
Hell
Word
yeah.
up, man. That's what's up. Tell us.
Yeah,
good with
so
you?
for me, I feel like, I'm really excited, obviously, about the Hometown Hero project and just continuing to curate things with these guys. I just rolled out my latest project, Never Late Is Better.
Check it out.
Check
Yeah,
it out,
new
please,
album,
if
man.
you fuck with me. And if you don't, check it out too, right? Like, why not? You can hate on me. But
That's a lot of work put into one project, though. You know what
man.
I mean?
I'm already kind of back in the studio, though. Actually, yesterday I started demoing out some new stuff. So
Hell yeah.
just going to get back to work. Yeah, man, I'm going to try to get a couple of things going. I got blessed to be on 4 Winds this summer. So if you're going to be in
That's
Sioux
gonna be
City in July, end of July, pop out. So appreciate those guys giving me the opportunity. But yeah, I just want to keep giving y'all quality music, try to roll out some more content for y'all, and just keep pushing, man, for real. So also, yeah, shout out to Dylan Foot.
And,
Yep,
and
shout
shout
out
out
Dylan.
for wins.
I still don't trust a whole lot of things, but
Shout out Elroy Beats.
Yep, shout out
Gifted
Elroy Beats,
Innovational.
Gifted.
They helped
Those are also
produce
2
the-
other producers that produced on the project.
really?
They're also from Sioux City. So the whole project,
AM snuck
again,
one
Hometown
on there.
Heroes. Yeah, Hometown Heroes is like everything's from Sioux City. So like all
From
these
the
guys from Sioux
production to
City.
the rap to
The beats is all from people who live in Sioux City or from Sioux City.
Yeah.
The artwork I'm planning on, I actually might need to link with you more, but yeah, I want
No,
all
man. Let me know.
I want all of it to just be produced by Sioux City.
That's
So
what's
then
up.
when people, again,
Yeah.
to like inspire people, it's like when you see this project, when you hear this project, it's all homemade. You know what I'm saying? It's not branched out. I didn't hire nobody from out of town. I didn't. It was like, no, we did this. We made this at home.
Real shit, man. We was in the studio for 3 weekends, about 70 hours each weekend, falling asleep, waking up, blunted the fuck out. We was in that bitch sweating that sometimes. Like, niggas put dead ass heart and passion into this motherfucking project. This
Time
shit
and
finna go
effort.
dummy.
You guys locked in, literally, like,
Yo.
for real.
I was fighting my drug
Anthony
to-
locked us in the studio. Like, that
I
ass.
told him, y'all ain't leaving.
Niggas was talking about we might go out for a little bit. And y'all ain't leaving.
He shut that down real quick.
Shut that shit down
What
quick.
y'all celebrating? Y'all
Go
ain't
get a
recording
bottle,
nothing.
Man.
You can get a bottle and come back.
Seafood was like, I need to see some shit. Anthony's like, you see whatever's in the studio.
Yeah, you see this microphone real quick.
Oh, man. What about you, AM? What's the future looking like, man?
Yeah, future for me again, just staying busy. You know, I like to be locked in. I'm real secluded. You know what I'm saying? I'm locked in the studio all the time. I don't really get out like that, but I am trying to make it out. I need to see a lot more shows. I need to show more face. But like, I'm in the studio. If you want to get a hold of me, that's where I'm at.
Yo, shout out AM Mixes for
But yeah,
sure, man.
other than that, Hometown Project, again, stay tuned. Release date, we'll have some of that for you coming soon. there'll be some other things that roll out for y'all to tap in. So again, follow me, follow everyone here, GIFO, SIFU, Johnny, follow Nasty, follow
All links
me.
down below.
Yup, PSK, everyone else. Stay tuned, man. We're real excited to bring this to everyone.
Yeah.
Again, a lot of time, effort, and energy was put into this, and there's still a lot of energy and work that's getting put into it. So, again, thanks for fucking with us, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to Nasty, man. Shout out to you for having this podcast and linking up with us.
Bro, thanks, man.
And with that being said, man, you guys see a solid ass group on this fucking stage right now, or this fucking, video, and it's just like you're gonna see some crazy ass shit though, for real, like whether it be this Hometown Heroes or the future for them. But just stay tuned, stay locked in with the homies, and yeah, man, Nasty Collective podcast, bruh. And we
Yes,
out.
sir. Peace.